Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This is my first day on the job site. This is actually my brother's job. Me and my son just came over to help with the pour. This has already been inspected by the city, signed off, and this is what it looks like. You know, before you get inspection. It's got somewhat of a grade beam. It's got two number 5s, top and bottom, and then it's got rings, number 3 rings at 4 foot. That's the whole perimeter foundation there, and it's the actual foundation is 18 deep and 15 inches wide, but it's overdug, which is good. That means you're gonna pass every time. The bolts are all pre-hung. Those are all 5/8. They're 2.5 inches in because this is a 2x6 plate and walls. So it looks like number 3 rebar on the slab with some turn downs in it, and they're at 18 inch on center. Those black ABS 2-inchers, that's sinks, shower, vent. And then you have your floor for your toilet there. Or that's actually shower. This is going to be 4,500 PSI. It's not the C4500, which I don't even know if they make. I guess you could request it. What that means is no fly ash. So this is a 4,500, but it will have fly ash. Now it's about 2 inches, top of slab is about 2 inches above the existing patio, and that's pretty much the minimal. You can't really go any closer to that patio. Otherwise it's not going to pass. You can be 2 inches above concrete or 6 inches above dirt on your outside. All those holes that are epoxy in, they're 6 inches in bed, and they used a Simpson Set XP, and those all have to be compressed air blown out, brushed, while a deputy inspector, which is special inspection, that's an extra fee for that particular inspector to observe that, write down what he sees, document it, put that in the packet for the city inspector so he can review it before he signs off this whole package. So you can see this new foundation is much deeper than the existing, so in order to get the 2 top and bottom, you actually had to drill in and bend them down, because otherwise if you went straight in, you'd be drilling into dirt underneath the existing house. That string line there, the only reason that is there is because there's 2 bolts that we need to wet set out here in the middle of the slab. So what we'll do here is we're just going to stack up some concrete pretty high. This is our first load. This actually went 29 yards. That particular plastic in there is set on top of 4 inches of clean gravel, and then we got it's a 15 mil plastic, and then you've got a 2-inch layer of sand on top of that. So what we'll do here, and this whole perimeter is set with a 2x6, because the reason you can do that, even though it's 18 inches deep, the actual dirt becomes your outside form when you dig them properly. If you over dig it, you'll probably want to run a board down just to save some concrete. But if you dig it right, then you just need a little 2x6 around the perimeter, because that's your height to dirt. So that means a lot of dirt's got to be dug out of this yard to get the right height, or you pour concrete around the outside edge, only 2 inches below. So we've sealed it up around the perimeter. That's the one load right there. Now we're getting into the second load here. So one load just barely got, it got about 2/3 of the footings. The reason you go around the perimeter first in this situation, you can, that way your concrete will be nice and tight when you put that final lift on there, so you won't have all that concrete squeezing up on the outside of the form. The reason that that whole wall is going to be coming down right there that you see, but for the time being we left it up to get to this point, just so that you can still live in the house without having to do a lot of temporary walling while you build this. Now the reason it's chipped at the bottom is just so you can see the bottom plate and finish the concrete to match the existing floor level. That's my aluminum 12-foot screed board, and then I've got also a 10-foot overhead there, and that's aluminum as well. So this is a little head cam footage, and it's kind of quick. We had to shorten up to a regular wood 2x4 because the 10-footer just didn't quite fit in here. And I didn't want to cut the aluminum, so we went with wood. But after we get this one bay along the house, the 10-footer aluminum will work for everything else. Now you notice on the top of the board I'm screeding with, there's no ear on top of it that can rest on that overhead, because what I'm doing is I'm just eyeballing it. In the background there we have the homeowner. Then we also have the deputy inspector, because this is a 4,500 psi. Anything over 2,500 psi, they have to have a deputy inspector to observe the concrete slump and to check the ticket, batch time, weights, all those different little details, and make sure that the mix is the correct one for that the plan's calling out for. This is our third load right here. We just started pouring it. As we poured those footings up, because those bolts were all just dangling from the top, we had to hold those securely as we filled up the footing. At this point, the bottom footing mud is pretty tight, so the bolts aren't moving anymore. From the start of this job to the final trowel, we were here approximately 7.5 hours. We bull floated it with the 4-foot magnesium bull float in 2 directions to start with. And then we went with Big Blue once we lost some bleed water. And then simultaneously with Big Blue, we used the funny trowel around the bolts and up against the house. This is 880 square foot. What we'll do as the concrete dries is continue to work it with the funny trowel. By doing that, we'll probably only have to go out here on sliders by hand, one pass. Hi, David Odell here. We've got all the concrete placed. This is 29 yards just for this 800 square foot slab foundation. You can see here all these pipes sticking up, ABS 2-inch. You got your sink, you've got your shower, and then you got your vent. And then you've got a toilet right in front of that that's in the slab. The other side, that could be, I don't know, another shower stall or whatever, but it's another sewer adapter. On the setup here, real simple, it's 2x6. Because the dirt, we just use the dirt as the form. Because we have to be technically, this slab technically has to be 6 inches above existing grade, and that's it. So there is some dirt to remove to get this thing down to the right elevation so that water won't go into the house, basically, ground runoff. But yeah, 2x6, and then we had 3-foot vertical wood stakes. This is real, there's no rock in this soil. It's all backfill, basically. And wood stakes works fine here. They're 2.5 inch wide, 3 foot deep. Everything was done with screws. The verticals, upright stakes have all been pulled already. The only thing left is the kickers, and that'll probably stay until we strip, which will be in a few days. Now the concrete slab foundation above patio or existing concrete only has to be 4 inches. Or 2, is it 2 inch? Maybe I think it's 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches. You can see here we got 2 inches. Or you can see even on the existing home, for instance, it's all 2 inches below slab. 1/2 inch below weave street, 2 inches below slab. You know, somewhere in that vicinity is good. All right, stay tuned. So I got out here a little early on this wall because that's an area we couldn't really work with the poles, the extended pole tools. Now here's my brother operating that funny trowel. He's running 3 poles on it, which is about the max anyone can go comfortably. That's my son over there on the funny now. This is me operating it now with the head cam. Just trying to get around these pipes. That way when I get out there on hand, I really don't have to fight any humps and bumps. Basically, that's a hand trowel with a pole on it. We already have all the vertical stakes. They've already been pulled. So the only thing left in there is the kickers, which isn't in the concrete. So they can be pulled at any time, any day. Now, if you want to save your verticals, you got to pull them while the concrete's still wet. Otherwise, you're going to be breaking them all off. So it looks like I'm getting set up here for the first pass on the sliders. I got fiberglass sliders there. They have built-in knee pads. That's a 25 by 20 by 5 Marshalltown trowel, one end rounded, one end square. And 2 people just received them. If you look in the community, you'll notice that they received their beginner trowel sets and edgers and hand float. So that's my brother over there against the house. My son's on this outside edge. So that's a good system. You got 2 guys in the middle, 1 guy taking care of the perimeter. You can knock them out pretty quick. So this side's pretty much done right here. Now the other end was drying a little bit slower, because we just started to get some sunlight over there, so we had to wait on that one. But we got it, and we ended up hitting it all one time by hand. We just stripped that form there that you've seen because they're going to be exposed at that point. And there's a little mushroom out on the existing, so we were able to cut that off while it was wet and finish it out. So this is your finished product. All you have to do now is wait and start framing. You could probably start framing here in a couple days. I've seen people get out on them as early as the very next day. Well, just your layout, basically. That's a nice grapefruit tree there in the background. We each got a big bag of grapefruits off of this particular job. Real tasty ones too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day and Merry Christmas.